everybody, and welcome back to the 50-day property challenge brought to you by the Enterprise Development Property Fund and the EDPF Property Academy and Private Property. Today we have with us only Jarrad because both he and Tabaleng Matt Al are extremely busy right now. Things are happening. We'll hear all about that from Jarrad now. But I thought today we will just catch up with Jarrad, and maybe tomorrow we'll catch up with Matt Al so that we can see where she's at. So Jarrad, tell us what's been going on in your life. Tell us about your busyness. I know you're extremely busy right now. I see on Facebook and on Twitter and all over. It's all happening for you right now. What's going on, my friend?
You know, busy is usually a very loose term that we use, but this time it's proven to be fact. You know, now that the pandemic has sort of subsided for a bit, and it's business as usual. And so for the entertainment industry, it's been this boost of now people doing more shows. I've been booked more for shows and interviews. It's been a manic schedule. I mean, even right now, I'm jumping between various meetings that I need to have. But it's been very good. I just haven't had a lot of time to focus on the things that I wanted to focus on. I mean, we spoke about this 50-day challenge that we're doing, and it's been tough, you know, squeezing at the time because there's just so much to learn. I mean, I was completely green. I mean, I'm wearing green. I was completely green to the whole concept of building a portfolio, and there was just so much that I needed to take into consideration. And you know, you take it lightly, oh, it's purchasing a property, but there's so many factors that one has to consider, you know, when defining the kind of portfolio that you want and how you want it to grow and how you want that money to sort of the return on investment to happen for you. And so, I mean, between everybody that we got to meet through this program, and writing down as much as I could and learning as much as I could, it's been quite enriching. I mean, I feel empowered to have this knowledge. And so it's been a wonderful process. There are times where it was really stressful because between work, scouting for properties, trying to get the best deal, it just really felt like I was cramming so much into the short period of time. But nevertheless, it's a 50-day challenge, and yes, we've managed to do what we need to do, and I'm quite excited.
That is absolutely amazing. I mean, the fact that somebody that is so busy like yourself, and also Matt Al, that you are still able to squeeze in a little bit of time to go out there and try and find the right property deal. And I mean, we're now halfway through the challenge.
Yes.
You guys have learned a lot. You've had session upon session upon session with all of our professionals.
Correct.
To learn different aspects of the property industry and property investment. Of all the things that you've learned so far, what is the one thing that stands out for you in terms of all the learnings you've done? What is that one thing that has really triggered the desire or the understanding of what you're trying to do within the property investment space?
I think, you know, holistically, there's not one specific thing because everything was very new to me. I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that it is actually possible, and you have to start now because the most important thing is setting yourself up not for now, but for the future. And that was quite an eye-opener for me to understand that this is a mechanism and a way that you can actually cushion your retirement and build something for yourself and for your future family, you know. And so it was very enriching in that sense. And I think just the small gems, you know, around just understanding how contracts work, how you set contracts up, you know, how you find agents that can look after the property as well if you're can't be as hands-on as you'd like to be. And also just looking at small things, you know, viewing the property, making sure it is what you're seeing on the site, you know, making sure that there's a good history with the property, that there's nothing sort of being hidden away from the seller, that when you eventually buy this property, you learn that, okay, it's not a desirable area, or the property itself, there are sort of things not working, piping, structural things. And so that was quite cool for me to learn, because one just thinks, so you see the property, you buy it, but you really got to make sure that it's a good investment. And I think around how you can also fund this kind of thing. I mean, I represent a demographic of South Africa who would like to invest in property, but not sort of aware of how one can make this happen. We know about going to banks, and trying to get that bond. But there's so many other ways that you can do this. And I think not just for myself, but everybody watching who is as new to this as I am is going to feel encouraged to know that this is something you can do. And as much as it is scary, due diligence is scary. You find a way to make this work. If it's exactly what you want to do, you'll make it work. And fortunately for me and Ntabaleng, we've had the blessing and honor of connecting with so many of the networks that are inside of the EDPF Academy structure, that we were able to acquire the right knowledge to make the smart moves, to kick this off.
Awesome. Okay, so from a perspective of the understanding and the learning, you got to a point where you've now learned enough to actually go out there and look for property and find the right property. So I understand that you have now made a final decision. The last time we spoke, you had narrowed it down to 2 properties, and there was just one particular property basically that you had said, this is probably the one that you're going to go for. What has happened now? Have you made the offer? Have you raised the money? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'm very excited to say that I've made the offer, and between my wife and I, we had the funds, yay, through saving. I can't believe I'm actually saying that on the program, because 50 days sounded a little bit unattainable. But between my wife, we managed to source the funds. We were out by like a small fraction, and so we leaned into what we learned around other people's money. And so we have a few friends that were able to just make up that small fraction, and so through rental we'll be able to give them their money back and have the properties. So we've signed and it's happened. So very excited. Yes,
that is absolutely amazing. We normally ring the bell when we do something exciting here at the EDPF Academy. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that you had already purchased your first property, so I didn't bring the bell with me. But the next time we connect, I will definitely bring the bell so that I can ring it. I'm so very, very proud of you, Jarrad. I'm so very happy for you that you've put in that first offer. You've got the money available. And now literally, basically, but all you're waiting for now is transfer, right?
Correct. We're just waiting for everything to happen. And it's still scary. It's still new. It's exciting. But I'm glad that we've started, my wife and I. And so we're looking forward to seeing how this journey unfolds. I think for anybody watching, I just want to reiterate that it's obviously not easy. There's a lot that you have to take into consideration, but it's definitely possible. And I just want to say again, I'm just like everybody else out there who has to look at the funds and see what's possible. And so I'm just happy that I got to this point. When I sent through like, am I actually doing this? Is this real? To the point where the offer was accepted, and now we're just waiting for everything else to happen. And it's quite cool. It's really cool.
Wow. And I think, if my memory serves me, our discussion on this particular property, you, in fact, from day one, you're going to be cash flow positive. You're actually going to have income from day one.
Correct. It is a holiday rental, so it's already generating funds for the previous owner. There's a previous owner, now they're going to be new owner. So
that is awesome.
It's already forward booked for a lot of holidays, and so I'm happy to see that it's an actual cash flow positive business.
Wow. So basically, everything that we've taught you, you've implemented, it's done. You're waiting for transfer, and the minute you have transfer, you're going to start getting income. And we're only halfway through the challenge. So,
listen, that's great.
Here's my thinking, Jarrad. Now that you've got your first property, and I know it's a scary thing, and it's not actually part of the 50-day challenge, because ultimately we only wanted you to buy one property. But my challenge to you now, let's go for that second one. Why not?
Listen, I'm down. So I've already been looking around. I want something sort of in the city center. Because as a holiday kind of Airbnb, because I do a lot of gigs in the city, and so it's always a schlep to have to drive in and out with traffic. So if I have something that's there, that's available for when I have gigs, or I can rent out because travel's sort of open now and so many people are coming to Cape Town and want to be in the city, it could be another good investment. So, hey, I'm down. Let's see what we can do. The bug is bitten, so
yeah. Yeah, that's the thing with property. When the bug bites, it bites, and you just cannot. It won't let go, and you'll just keep going. And yeah, I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud that we were part of your journey, or are still part of your journey, and that hopefully in the second half of the 50-day challenge, who knows, maybe we can even do a second property for you.
Let's see what transpires. I mean, I might have to have chats with you and your team and your networks just to understand where to from here. I mean, I do know I've learned, but I think I just need some validation around a few things. So,
fantastic.
You guys.
Awesome. Okay, I think that's enough then for today. I mean, that is just absolutely phenomenal. And in fact, we're going to use this in our wrap up for week number 5. And so I thank you, Jarrad. Thank you for the listeners out there. Thank you to Private Property for giving us this phenomenal platform so that we can teach people how to become property investors within 50 days.
As you're talking to me, I'm getting updates from agents who are texting me on WhatsApp. So the search continues, I guess.
That's amazing. Jarrad, I think for the rest of the 50-day challenge, all I really want from you then is to send us videos, send us pictures of how you're going out there looking for your second property. So that will be our updates as how you're doing your search. And the one thing that I want to do maybe next week is that we're going to bring Gareth on board and we're going to ask him to show you the transfer process and how to get to that point where you eventually take transfer of your property. How does that sound?
Brilliant. I love that. I mean, all the information that I can gather.
Fantastic. So thank you so much. Fantastic. Awesome. So we'll do that next week. But for now, well done. Congratulations. And to the rest of you guys out there, ding, 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 ding. Thank you guys for watching us. Join us again next week as we continue this journey of the 50-day property challenge with EDPF Property Academy and Private Property. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Jarrad.
Brilliant.